Welcome back to the video layer. Yeah, I've got a fun topic today. Before I get into today's topic, I've got some really exciting heritage wear videos coming up. I'm waiting for things to arrive. I've got a heavy waxed canvas jacket. I just ordered a pair of the Ship John Guthrie pants, which I'm really excited about. They're in pre-order, so it'll probably be a little while till they're here. And a couple other things kind of in the works, but today we're going to talk about something that's the opposite of heritage wear, which is underwear. I'll try to keep it very PG, but I think, we have all these threads and conversations about this jacket and these pants and whatever. It's all great and important stuff, but I realize that when I'm getting dressed in the morning, the first decision I have to make is, what am I putting on underwear wise? So I'll kind of share a couple of my observations, opinions, what I've learned, and I'm not gonna lie, I am still on a quest to find for my body, for my activity, what are the best fitting, durable, comfortable, garment. And I think I'm getting close. I'm interested in opinions. I'm interested in, have you found something that just works better than the others? Brands to avoid, please drop a comment on that. But I'll kind of talk through really quick, like what I have, what I like, what I dislike, and where I think I'm headed with my next couple of buys. I don't know if you have a pair of these. These are like specific sports underwear. So I have these, and they greet me every morning because of the color, and they're like, "Hey Gary, put me on." I only ever wear these if it's like a sports competitive and activity that's planned, which guess what, I haven't had to use them in quite a while. I'm moving a little slower these days, had a few injuries, and they're probably gonna be retired. So daily drivers, I fell into the Duluth thing a couple years ago, and I started buying Duluth before they really went too cheap. I got into them. They still had their guarantee, and they were reputable. I do think as a brand they've cheapened out, and their marketing is just like a little over the top. So these are called the Armachillo underwear, and they say blah blah blah, cooling effect. I've actually had ones that allegedly have jade in them for cooling, and I gotta tell you, like, that just is a bunch of BS as far as I'm concerned. I've never noticed any specific benefit between these chilling underwear and anything else that is of similar material. So it's just marketing, hooky dook, in my opinion. These are the ones they have, what are called the, it's hard to describe, but they call it the bullpen pouch. And the bullpen pouch is, it's supposed to kind of hold everything separate from your legs. And under ideal conditions it works, but I almost always find by the end of the day it's all just flattened out and there's no benefit, and they cost an extra $5 or $10. So that's like a bullpen pouch. These ones are more of a flat. So my big beef with these Duluths in general is the waistband is very thick, which means it stays up great, but it is a waistband flipper. And if you've ever had that problem, like, I've tried multiple sizes and it's not a sizing thing. I think it's just the material and the way my body's shaped. So I'm not blaming, like, hey, these are bad underwear. I'm just saying for my body, the waistband drives me nuts. They are always flipped over, flipped in half, whatever, by the end of the day. Again, multiple sizes, same thing. And it's just due to my, dad bod shape that I've got. So instead of lamenting the fact that I'm shaped a certain way, I'm just like, all right, well, I just got to find underwear that fit the body that I have. So I found these. These are a funny story. I was traveling and I was just needed something because I forgot to pack enough. And I went over to Target and these were fairly cheap. I want to say $20 for a 3-pack. And I've still got 2 out of the 3. You know, they are starting to wear a little bit, but they've held up pretty good, especially considering the investment. And again, there's nothing spectacular about these pair of thieves, but for the money, you know, the material's comfortable, fits good, waistband's okay. I still have them in the rotation. So, you know, again, daily drivers, pair of thieves, Duluth, somewhat grudgingly. It's just, I haven't really, like, figured this out or made it a priority. I'm too busy ogling jackets and stuff like that. So I started kind of thinking I need to branch out and find, like, what is the best solution. And the reason is, when I get up, I like the idea of being a minimalist as far as like decisions I need to make. And when I open my underwear drawer and there's like 40 cuts, styles, patterns, fits, I don't like that, honestly. And I'm terrible right now. Literally everything that I have, you know, I have like 1 or 2 pairs of, and I don't have like, this is what I use. So I'm looking forward to winnowing all this down to very few options long term. So I'll talk through, I got more experimental. I tried a whole bunch of different stuff and trying to find like what is going to be like the next one that I like really go all in on. And I took one major wrong turn with that, which I'll talk about. So first, this brand, Saxx, this was actually the first kind of pouch style that I tried. And, you know, again, their claim to fame is similar to the bullpen. They have this, like, you know, area to keep everything separate. And I had 2 other pairs of, I want to say more of a micro modal version. I actually liked them quite a bit, but they're not in this video because I wore them out. They just didn't hold up more than a year. So again, good underwear. I liked them, they were comfortable, but they bagged out pretty bad. The waistband bagged out. And, you know, if anyone's watching this who's an underwear maker, all of our laundry we wash cold and dry low. And for me, another, like, thing is some underwear, which I'll show you next, they actually said, like, hand wash them separate. And at first I'm like, all right, I can manage that if the underwear are awesome. But that lasted a few weeks and I realized, like, I'm not gonna do this. It's just too much maintenance. So the Saxx were pretty good. I wouldn't dismiss them out of hand. I thought that they were lacking in the durability department though from my use, which, you know, I am a pretty active guy and you know, so that's them. So one day I'm browsing Instagram and I see this absolutely beautiful ad of some underwear, and like it's all high tech and it's all, you know, UV welded seams, and they're very thin and they're very stretchy, which they are. And this is a brand called As We Move. So I liked these. I like the idea of, like, it feels like there's nothing there, and it, you know, there's not a lot of seams. It won't really show up under your clothes. They are fairly thin, and you know, so I actually, like, really started buying up on these, and they had some good sales. And at one point, I want to say I had 10 pair of these in different styles. Anatomically, you know, the pouch I think is very well designed to hold, you know, your goods, and it's very comfortable. It breathed well, so you know, overall I was really happy at first. But I pretty quickly I learned two things. Number one, this waistband, they call it like heat activated and blah blah blah, and this reminds me a lot of the Armachillo, where there's just like, it almost feels like marketing hooky dook around like the material and it's heat activated and all this stuff. Well, if it's heat activated, here's what I noticed. My body heat activated it, and the waistband just gets looser as the day goes on. So it starts like, you put them on and you're like, yeah, this is awesome, and by the end of the day they're literally falling down. There's just not enough waistband here, and it's not tight enough to do the job, and I was really disappointed. The other thing I noticed was quality control. At one point I had like 6 pairs of these, and I laid them all down on top of each other, and whether it was due to just natural stretching or manufacturing, they were 1 to 2 inches in different sizes at the end. And in As We Move's defense, I took a picture of that. I gave them a long email explaining my issues, and they sent me 4 brand new pair of these, which are, you know, they charge like 25-30 bucks a piece for these. So this product is, I want to say, just so innovative, and I thought it was going to be the one, but it just doesn't hold up. And I wanted it to work so bad. I tried all kinds of different materials of theirs. I want to say I had 6 or 7 different orders. And this one is they supposedly enhance the waistband, but you can even see how droopy it is. Like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. This is even a bigger waistband and it doesn't work. I was just disappointing. So, you know, again, I'm not holding a grudge. It's not working for me. I'm not saying they're a bad company, and their support is definitely good, because they sent me new pairs of underwear just on a you know, on a whim. So then they came out with this boxer design, which I thought would be cool, because, like, you know, a boxer brief, you know, they have these like, hold on, let me fix this. They have these like really cool gussets on the side, so it's supposed to like be really comfortable and everything. But these ones also, like, the waistband, it just did not hold up, and they're no good. It couldn't do it. So yeah, I mean, again, I was like really grasping at straws. I even got some like fashion, because I was like, I go wear these under a kilt. That lasted like a day, by the way. Not recommended. But I thought, it's science. I'm experimenting with every pair. Don't go with the jockey style. So then I got an Instagram ad for these Hello ones, and they're interesting because they have like some cotton fabric on the inside. So I actually do like these a lot. They're good, I would say, lounging around underwear. They have these breathable panels. They were 13 bucks. Dislike, very, very thin fabric in the back. And if you're just doing anything, I'll say athletic and working up a sweat or anything, like that, fabric that's that thin is not desirable. You know, it's just not great. So the other thing I noticed with these Hello is I ordered as recommended on the website, and the waistband on these came, and it's, you know, 2 inches bigger than all the other ones. So okay for lounging around, but the sizing on these Hello was much larger than expected, and I could definitely size down if I ordered more. Although I'm probably not going to, because finally I'll tell you where I landed, and you know, the universe must know I'm looking for underwear. So I got an ad for these, and these are called Krakatoa, which, I mean, their branding's a little cheeky, like, you know, it's a volcano, blah, blah, blah. But again, I'm looking for the best pair possible. So they had an offer like buy your first pair, 50% off, blah, blah. So I did. And what I noticed about these for me, this pouch is more substantial than the other ones, and not you know, like, it actually does its job. Things stay where they should be, and they stay separate from your legs and everything. Out of all the pouches and all the stuff in these other ones, like, this one is actually like really working. So I liked that. This was like the one pair that I have bought and tried over the past 2 years that when I put them on and started my day, I didn't think about my underwear all day. They just went away. They became invisible. That's exactly what I want. I want to put a pair of underwear on in the morning and go about my day and not think about it. So a couple things I'll say. The waistband on these did not flip. It's weird. It's like thin, very, very thin on top, and it kind of thickens a little bit towards the bottom, it feels like. And it just is like perfectly just the right amount of stretch to not want to fall down or roll over on me. Again, I just did not think about it. The material, they I'm gonna butcher this, they call it micro modal. It is extremely soft feeling, and allegedly it's a natural fiber, or a mostly natural fiber. 95% modal, 5% spandex. So what I like about that is it's made out of natural stuff, which you know, having more natural fibers against your skin versus chemical fibers, you know, I know there's spandex and stuff in here, but I'll take more natural over not, so that's a plus. It's soft, it feels good. I've worn these about 5 times, so I've still got, I don't have the durability test into these yet, but I've worn them for quite a few different activities, some more active, some not. That's been good. They're breathable. I like the feel of the fabric. I worked out on them, wicked moisture as expected, but not like, you know, leaving me like afraid of, you know, like these thin ones just, they don't wick moisture. Moisture just seeps through them. These ones kind of do the job of absorbing it and then releasing it back out to the world. The legs are about right. And yeah, you know, overall, like, if I'm gonna buy more underwear, I'm gonna buy more of these Krakatoa ones. I do want to experiment with not sizing. So I'm a 38-inch waist, and that's a medium, actually, is the right fit for me. I was on the border of medium and large, but talking to their support, they recommended medium. Things I would change, I might try some of the different lengths. I might, what else? I don't need the button. I don't need the fly. I landed on these. I didn't really think about it. I wear button-down jeans, which means you're all like taken apart anyway, so there's no advantage to have a fly. So I'm like, less fabric, will be smoother, will be less of a hassle, blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna buy probably the same style with no fly, although I do want to try a couple of their other options just to see, like, from a fit perspective. They do actually offer like different, you know, pouches for different things. Like this one worked great. This is the not the Pinatubo, the other one, Vesuvius. This is the Vesuvius, which is like, I think it's like more for your you know, average sized person, which is fine for me. So yeah, you know, I'm gonna probably go for more of these and figure out, like, is there a unicorn fit in here that I can replace all of this with just a whole bunch of these and not have that decision every morning of what am I going to wear. The one other thing, as you notice, I don't have is just like your cotton boxer or flannel boxers. I think just like all that fabric drives me nuts. But I am probably going to give that a shot, just to make sure I travel that road before continuing down the, I do like the boxer brief because it just suits my activity. And, again, I want shorts that are, or underwear that are just invisible once you start your day. I've always noticed, because I had loose boxers in the past, that they bunch up, they ride, they move around, they get wet, whatever. I just don't like them as much. So I've always kind of gravitated towards the boxer brief. So yeah, I'm interested, if you watch this, is there brands that you've liked? Have you used Krakatoa and have feedback on that? Brands to avoid. And I'm gonna keep my eye on their website just to contemplate, like, if they run a sale or something, get a couple more in different cuts, and kind of see what's the best for me. And then yeah, if I do that, I'll post up an update video on that, and also like a durability, because I'll always like wear these first when they come out of the laundry, so these will get more use faster than the other ones. So anyway, that's that. And I haven't really had much feedback about like other types of videos to post. I get up here and I talk about clothes, which is fine. I'm gonna run out eventually. I only have like a wardrobe, so I don't see a future where I'm like hardcore buying and reviewing constantly, but I will continue to do incremental clothing updates, comparisons, and conditions reports and things like that. But I do have like legions of other things to talk about. Like I went to blacksmithing school and I learned a lot there. I've got a really nice knife sharpener, so I'm learning how to use this and make like really, really sharp stuff, which I've had good luck with so far. So I do a ton of barbecue. So I've got some other stuff to kind of work through on the channel. And I kind of want to have create a general vibe of like, we as adults can have a really I'll just say interesting existence by being into things. And I think for me, that's I've realized, like, I just love learning, I love making things, and if I can share a little bit of that to inspire people to help answer questions, or if you're interested in starting a hobby that I'm into, like, I can talk about how I got started and what I learned over the years, all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to learn more about like you as an audience, for the 200 subscribers. Thank you. What's good content for you? I want to try to keep doing a video a week. When it becomes summertime, it might get a little tougher because we have our camp, so I could still probably produce some content, but that would definitely be more Adirondack, fishing, woodworking, that kind of thing, because I like to spend a lot of time up in the mountains. But wintertime, and when it's crazy, which we're having that huge snowstorm right now, like, this is a great time to make videos down here in my basement shop, just to keep going and have something to do. So anyway, yeah, if you watched it all the way till now, kudos to you for listening to all that. And I hope that you have a great day, and we'll see what we can do for next week. See ya. Bye.